Welcome, everyone. I'm Ken Goldstein. This is Good Men Project Dreams, and we're here with Aurora Cady. Aurora is the founder and CEO of Wait Not. Aurora, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us about Wait Not. What does Wait Not do?
So Wait Not is the Airbnb for booking personal services such as beauty appointments, hair appointments, fitness, wellness. And what we do is we match up a hairstylist or a professional with an opening with a client who's in the area looking for an appointment.
So that's like a big idea.
It is a big idea.
Where do big ideas
to make happen?
Where do big ideas like that come from?
Well, I'm an idea person, so is my business partner. So what we like to do is get out in the community, talk to business people. We particularly like business-to-business sorts of businesses and kind of see what their needs are and what's lacking for them in their business. And the idea for Wait Not came along actually about 6 or 7 years ago. I was living in Austin, Texas, and I had some recent success with my first company, Rhino Bill, which is a claim billing company. So sort of not working, floating on Rhino Bill going so well. And at this time, I'm going to get a lot of massages, and I have a lot of female friends that are sort of in this beauty industry. And one of the hurdles they had was finding a booking platform that was affordable when they were first getting started. There were quite a few out there, but they were expensive, and they didn't have clients yet to pay for it. So I had an idea at the time to make something that was less expensive, but the industry wasn't really ready for that at that point in time. We didn't have Uber and on-demand services yet. So the idea really came to fruition about a year ago once Uber and other companies were up and running.
So I heard you say you had another company before this.
That's right.
When I talk to people, this is like a serial entrepreneur thing. This is not unusual. You have more than one business.
That's right. It's kind of an addiction.
Yeah. How did the first business get started?
The first business got started when I was in college. At the time, I was working for my nephew who has cerebral palsy as a home health aide. And my business partner and I had just met. He was a programmer. I was in school, and we were sort of looking for something to do. We knew that it was really lucrative at the time to take companies that were currently using paper, a lot of paper, and make them electronic. And so we came up with the idea for a medical claim billing company and to do all of that electronically. And in the early 2000s, that pretty much didn't exist. So it was a really good time for that.
So that business is up, it's running, it's got a staff, it's profitable.
That's right.
Why not go to the beach? Why do this again?
I did do that for a while. I took a year off. That's how I made all of these friends in the beauty industry, and that was pretty fantastic, but you do eventually get bored with that life, and like I said, it's an addiction. It's actually really fun to go out and come up with these ideas and figure out how we're going to make that happen.
Easier the second time, harder the second time, same?
It was a lot easier the second time. We are self-funded with Wait Not. With Rhino Bill, we bootstrapped it, and I worked at a Starbucks, a Target overnight, anything we had to do. My business partner was doing the same thing.
Wait, say this again. You were working at Starbucks while you were a startup CEO?
That's right, yes.
As a barista?
I was a barista working from 4 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock in the morning until phone calls would start for Rhino Bill. So I could do customer service from 9 to 5, sleep for like 4 hours that night, and get started again the next day.
So this isn't just like, raise money, start a company, kick back, and the dollars roll in the door.
No, I don't know who it works that way for. You're really lucky if it does.
Yeah.
But no, not for us. But fortunately with Wait Not, we do have income from Rhino Bill still. So it's felt easier for us, but then there's also this angle that you only have so much money coming in from the other company, and you really have to make good choices with which company you make. We have ideas all the time, and so how do you pick which idea is going to be the most profitable?
So what's the biggest challenge you're facing right now?
The biggest challenge we're facing right now has been getting into a good groove with our development team. It took us a while to find the right staff for the right price because we do have limited resources, and to get our minimal viable product out the door, which we actually just did this week. We are officially up and live in the Apple Store, which is a very big...
Go ahead, tell us where to find it. Where do we find it?
So if you go to the App Store, it's under Wait Not.
Okay.
Just all one word, and it's very, very infant stage right now. There's not a lot of functionality. We're just doing some testing, but that's a big step for us.
Yeah. How big is your dream? How big is this thing going to get?
I want this to be in everyone's pocket in the next 10 years. I want everybody using it, not just women, but men as well.
So you're at the launch. I mean, we have you today at the launch. You have this vision to be bigger than Uber.
That's right.
What's going to happen between now and then? What has to happen? How do you close the gap on that?
Well, we have plans for our launch cities. So we plan on being in beta later this year in Austin, Texas. From there, we're just going to kind of see which cities are gathering the most steam. We currently have a landing page up to obtain people's information. So if you're interested in this product, please go to waitnot.com. I'm sorry, getwaitnot.com. So please go and give us your email address, your zip code, so we can see where the most interest
Men and women, or is this
for
just
men and women.
Yeah?
We expect our early adapters to be women because we get the most services done usually with manicures, pedicures, all of these things. But men can use it as well.
Yeah. So you're adding people to the team now.
We are.
Yeah. How hard is that?
It's been a challenge to find the right programmers, the right project manager, and everybody that fits just the bill for the job. We've had to let a couple people go. We try to make quick decisions about that now. If somebody's not a good fit, we don't try to make them fit. We let them go, and I feel like that's better for both of us.
Yeah. Are you, I mean, we talk about building a culture. Are you building a culture?
We are. And that includes being lean. So we don't take on more staff than we need. Part of being lean is to be a self-starter. Everybody we hire has to be a self-starter, and they have to pull their role because there's not somebody else to pick up the slack. You know, we have 2 developers, we have 1 project manager, and if they're not pulling their weight, then nobody is. Nobody's doing that job. So we really, really press our staff to love what they do. You're going to have to love it because you're the only one doing it.
How important is that team dynamic over, you know, an individual contribution?
I think it's pretty important to have that kind of communication because we work so hand in hand right now because there are so few of us. We really need to know when something's not working for someone. We can fix it because we are small, we're dynamic, so we can fix a problem that they're having. Somebody in our team can get there.
Yeah. You mentioned before you had to let some people go. How do you do that in the right way?
Well, you know, we have these guidelines pretty well stipulated in our company culture. So what it's going to take, what we expect from you. We try to make that very clear from day one.
Is there like a document? I mean, is it written down?
It is written down.
Yeah.
And then we also have goals set for everybody in our company. And again, they're very specific. They have dates associated with them, the methodology of how you're going to get there. And we have frequent check-ins. You know, we have pretty much weekly
Check-ins.
Check-ins.
Oh, check-ins.
I like check-ins.
Yeah.
We should go with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have weekly check-ins to make sure that everybody's on their way to accomplishing their goals. And if they're not, they know ahead of time that they're going to be let go. There's no surprises.
Yeah. What's the definition of a good day at Wait Not?
A good day at Wait Not is, you know, the other day having a big release and actually sticking to our release schedule. We happened to be, I think, a few days ahead of time. Apple approved us faster than we thought, and that was just magnificent.
That's not like a good day. That's like an amazing
It's a great
day.
day.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
popping champagne when you
Yeah.
actually are ahead of a deadline.
Cheap champagne.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's when we get to work as a team, I would say. And we have developers that are in South America. My business partner travels frequently, so we use Skype as our basic mode for transportation, but having great Skype sessions and getting to talk to a few people in a day feels really good for me.
What's a terrible, bone-crushing, demoralizing, can't believe I can get up tomorrow day?
You know, I'm glad to say that we haven't had many of those at Wait Not yet. We're pretty young. So the worst we've had was when we were having trouble getting people hired in for the right position. Wouldn't say quite bone crushing. The worst of that would be at Rhinobill. So it's a medical billing company. We work with the state of Ohio's Medicaid program. And so they'll just have changes that come through like legally. And sometimes we are warned about those. We've had a lobbyist we've worked with to kind of stay abreast of those situations. But occasionally they'll have something come through that we don't see. And all of a sudden, our poor customer service reps have 100 people calling the 3 of them on their phone lines. And it's just chaos.
What, as the CEO, the founder, what role does resilience play for you in coming back from things like that?
Resilience is pretty important. You know, I can think of one of our worst crises with Rhinobill having a situation similar to that. And the first day that it happened, I think I was probably crying in a bathroom somewhere and kind of had a breakdown. But you have to push through, and you can't let yourself get down from that. So we had to push through and kind of come up with solutions. How are we going to manage this? We literally had to put together a customer service team of 20 people over a weekend, hire an office building, train these people over the weekend to handle all the phone calls we were getting from this crisis. And you just have to push through.
There's a lot of resilience in you. I can feel it right here.
Yes.
I have a couple questions from the audience. Let's see what
Great.
you got. All right. If you were to raise money for the growth of your app, what is the first thing you would spend it on?
The first thing we would spend it on would be marketing, getting the word out. Right now, we kind of have a plan to make Wait Not as viral as possible. So there's a social media tie-in to try to perpetuate that. But we don't really have a huge amount of resources for marketing right now, so that would be what it would go towards.
Yeah. See if I've got another question coming in from the audience. What are some innovations in the beauty industry that you see?
Well, I see this as being the innovation.
This is the one,
industry.
yeah.
Yeah, like, obviously everybody needs this. Yeah, I actually think that this would be really helpful for people right now. I think it's a big problem for not only people in the industry that have a lot of clientele, but obviously for new people just getting started. How do they get the word out? But also for people who are extremely booked, how do they get the word out to their client? Because I hear a lot of complaints from my hairstylist, from other people when it's Christmas or high season. They have people pinging them nonstop, like, do you have an opening today? Can you fit me in? And the ability to kind of shut that out and say, just check Wait Not. Just go on there, check it out, and you'll know when I have an opening. I think will be really beneficial.
Hey, I got to ask you. So we've got people here who are starting businesses, running businesses, people watching all over the world. What's the one piece of advice that you can give them, the one thing they don't know that they need to know right now to be successful?
I would say to run at what scares you. Just run at it. Identify what you're scared of, why it's bothering you, why it's looming, and just attack it and go for it.
You do that, don't you?
I do.
You do. Aurora Cady, you're terrific. Thank you
Great.
so
Thank
much
you
for
so
being
much.
with us. You've been great. Thank you.
Thank you.